Friends, today we are going to discuss about diffraction of light. And for the same purpose, first of all, let me take one cardboard. It consisting of one small slit. Here is a cardboard and it consisting of one small slit. If a source is placed on the other side of a cardboard, screen is placed at certain large distance. When the light is incident over a slit, then according to the property of light, this light has to travel in a straight line path. Of course, light travels in a straight line path and it will be incident over the screen. We get this much illuminated portion, that means light portion. But according to Huygens principle, when the light reached over the slit, then every point of this light, it consisted of very small slit elements. They act as secondary sources. According to the Huygens principle, every point over these slit elements, they act as secondary sources sending out secondary waves. Look at this extreme point, it will sending out waves in this direction, and if we draw normal to it, then it is nothing but a ray that will enter in this geometrical shadow portion. For this extreme point here, it will produces wave fronts, and that's why when we draw normal to it, it is nothing but a ray and it will enter in this geometrical shadow region. Over the screen, at the center, we get maximum intensity. Then after, we get here certain less intensity point. Here is again less intensity point, then dark region, less intensity point, dark region in this way. On the other side of this maximum intensity, we get here certain less intensity point, then dark region, less intensity point, dark region, less intensity point in this way. This is nothing but a diffraction pattern. Actually, when we draw this diffraction pattern, then it is observed that at the middle, here is nothing but a maximum intensity point, and to the other side, we get a certain less intensity, then dark, less intensity dark in this. Here is also, on the other side, we get certain intensity, then dark region, intensity less in this. This is the diffraction pattern. Instead of a slit, if we take very small object, we call obstacle. Its length is comparable to the wavelength of a source of light. It is observed that when the light is incident over the small object, that time its a geometrical shadow will be produced here. But if the size is very small, that time this light bends at the corner and it will be enters in this geometrical shadow region. The light enters in this geometrical shadow region. We get here diffraction pattern, here is also diffraction pattern. This is diffraction of light. Definition as such, the bending of light near the edge of an obstacle or the slit and spreading in the region of geometrical shadow is called as diffraction of light. There are so many examples for the diffraction of light. When sun is viewed through fine piece of a cloth, then color spectra is observed. This is due to the diffraction of light. The luminous border surrounding the boundary of a mountain before sunset or sunrise, this is due to the diffraction of light. Diffraction divided into two types, Fraunhofer diffraction and Fresnel diffraction. For the Fraunhofer diffraction, if source, screen and the diffracting system, they are at very large distances, and if we use the incident wavefront as a plane wavefront, then we get Fraunhofer diffraction. For the Fresnel diffraction, source, screen and the diffracting system, they are at very small distances, and if we use cylindrical or the spherical wavefront, then we get Fresnel diffraction. Friends, let us discuss Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Imagine here is the plane wave front. We know that how to get plane wave front? If monochromatic source of light which is placed at the principal focus of convex lens, then we can obtain plane wave front. When such plane wave front is incident here, this is nothing but a slit having the width A. We say that here is the plane wave front. Here is our convex lens is placed and here is the screen. The distance of a screen D, it is equal to near about 10 meter. We say that the distance D, it is exactly equal to focal length of this converging lens. The distance of this slit is, that means distance between A and B, it is supposed to be A. It is nearly equal to 10 to the power minus 4 to the 10 to the power minus 3 meter. It is very small. When such kind of a plane wave front, that means a slit which is incident over a convex lens, then according to the property of a lens, here these rays converge to a point P naught. Here these rays converge to a point P naught. At this point we get maximum intensity, very bright point. P is the point which is at a certain angular position. Which angular position? Angular position theta. That means this slit makes certain this position of having angle theta. This is the new position AC. That time these rays, they incident over this lens and they converge to a point P. At this point P, we have to determine path difference. If path difference is equal to n lambda, then we get dark point. And if this path difference is equal to n plus a half lambda, then we get bright point. Let us take conditions. Look at the triangle ABC. It is a right angle triangle. If theta is the angular position of the ray, if this is the theta, then the new position of the slit is AC. These are nothing but the rays which is incident over the lens and they converge to a point P. We have to determine path difference at this point P. If the points they are over this AC, then the path difference becomes 0. But if we take this much distance, then BC acts as path difference. This much is nothing but extra length. First of all, let us determine path difference at point P. Look at the point P. The rays from A and the B, they travel the same path and that's why path difference at the P naught will be 0. Similarly, every point on this slit that acts as secondary sources, we can determine the path differences for each and every point, then at the point P naught, path difference will be 0. And that's why central point P naught having the maximum intensity because path difference is 0. Let us determine path difference at point this BC distance. Let us determine path difference. In this triangle ABC, it is a right angle triangle and that's why sin theta is equal to BC by AB. Look at this, sin theta is equal to BC by AB. When this AB distance, it is nothing but A and therefore path difference is equal to BC is equal to AB sin theta and it is exactly equal to A sin theta. If this path difference is equal to n lambda, then we get destructive interference dark point. How it is? Look at this diagram. In this diagram, if we take number of points over this slit, out of this, if O is the central point, then this total slit is divided into two halves, AO and OB. They consisting of number of points and we have to determine path difference between them. it is observed that if AB path difference is equal to lambda, both they divided into half a portion, that means path difference is equal to lambda by 2. And we know that if path difference is equal to odd multiple of half wavelength, then we get destructive interference. Here actually interference is obtained because the number of sources they sending out waves, they interfere with one another, and that's how we have to determine path difference. And the path difference is equal to lambda by 2 for the upper half, and for this lower half it is lambda by 2. If we take pair of points between AO and OB, they will produce destructive interference at point P. Thus, the point having path difference is equal to 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda produces destructive interference. Here, if we take 100 points, out of these first point make a pair with the 51, and that's why path difference is lambda by 2. Second point makes the pair with the 52nd point, and that's why there is a path difference lambda by 2. For the third point, it makes a pair to the 53rd point, and that's why path difference is lambda by 2. In this way, they produces path difference. It is exactly equal to half of wavelength, and that's why we get destructive interference. Same logic is applicable for the points on the other side of a P naught. If we take here is another point, P point, and if the light which is from this B which is incident over this, we get this point, here is, then for the other side we can take the same logic. If we take A sin theta is equal to 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, that time we get destructive interference. Let us take condition for nth maxima point. If this path difference is equal to, that means A sin theta, it is equal to n plus half wavelength, n plus half lambda, then we get maximum point, maximum intensity point. How it is? If imagine this total slit is divided into 100 of sources and they emit the light waves. At very first, if the path difference is equal to, if this A sin theta, it is equal to 3 by 2 wavelength. That means if this AP slit is divided into 3 equal parts, the first part, the second part and third part, each part consisting of near about 33 sources. Just imagine it consisting of near of 33 sources. Here 33 sources, 33 sources, here also 33 sources. Then, we have to determine the path difference between them. We know that this first point and 34th point, they having the path difference lambda by 2. Second point and 35th point, they having the path difference lambda by 2. In this way, we go on determining path difference. It is observed that 66 point and the 99 point, they having a certain path difference. But what about the 67, 68, 69 point? There is no any another source, and that's why these remaining points, they having the certain wavefronts, and these wavefront illuminates this portion, and that's why we get certain intensity there. These points, they produce a dark region, but the remaining points after 66 point, they produces certain light, and that is the less intensity point. We can say that that is the first maxima point. If A sin theta is equal to, let us take another example, A sin theta is equal to 5 by 2 wavelength. That means if these total, imagine 100 of source, they are divided into 5 equal parts. That means each part consisting of 20 sources. Let me take first, second, third, fourth and fifth. If each part consisting of 20 sources, just imagine, then the first and the 21st, The path difference between first source and 21st source, the path difference is lambda by 2. For the second and the 22nd source, they are having the path difference lambda by 2. In this way, we go on determining, then it is observed that here in between 79 and the 100, just in between 80 and the 100, there is a path difference lambda by 2. But what's about the 81 and the other sources? The 81 and the other sources, they eliminate the light, and that's why we get certain less intensity points. For this case, after 66 source, we get the intensity point. But for this condition, after 81, we get intensity, that means certain less intensity. Similar situation for the A sin theta is 7 by 2 lambda. That time we get again less number of sources here, they illuminate the light, and that's why we get less intensity. And that's why for the diffraction pattern, at the center we get the maximum intensity, and then after we get the minimum intensity, then certain maxima point, and then minimum intensity, again certain less, in this way. On the other side also we get the certain intensity, then less minimum intensity, in this way. This is the first maxima, second maxima, third maxima, in this way. It depends upon these conditions. In this way, we can determine the condition for the end maxima point. It is A sin theta is equal to plus minus n plus half lambda. This plus minus because of the RHS side or the LHS side of P naught. We know that this is nothing but central maxima point at P naught. Imagine this P point is the nth dark point. At nth dark point on either side of P naught, that time condition as path difference, it is equal to y nth point d by n. It is equal to n lambda by a. We know that condition. It is equal to a sin theta. It is equal to n lambda, and that's why if theta is very small, then sin theta near about theta, and therefore it is equal to theta is equal to lambda by a. This is the condition. Therefore, for the nth dark point, this y distance, it is equal to n lambda d by a, where lambda d by a is nothing but width. Imagine for nth bright point, if a P point is bright, we know that condition as such n plus half wavelength. If A sin theta is equal to n plus half wavelength, then we get bright point. If theta is very small, then sin theta near about theta, and therefore theta is equal to n plus half lambda by a. This is the condition, and therefore for nth bright point, the path difference, it can be written as n plus half lambda by a. Therefore, for y nth bright point, condition as such n plus half lambda d by a, where lambda d by a is the width. Now, let us determine width of a central bright point. We know that this is the central bright point, and this central bright point having the width, this width plus this width. We have to add two widths. We know that this central bright point, it is in between the first dark and the first dark. And therefore, condition as such, width of the central point, it is equal to 2 times the distance of first dark, and it is equal to twice width, and it is equal to 2 into width can be written as lambda d by a, and this is the width of central bright point. This is about Fraunhofer diffraction. Let us compare conditions for bright and the dark point. We know that for obtaining dark point on the diffraction pattern, path difference will be n lambda, where n starts from 1, 2, 3, 4. That means if path difference is equal to 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, etc., then we get dark point. The phase difference at that point will be n into twice pi. That means if a phase difference at the point P is twice pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, that time we get dark point. Angular position, it will be n lambda by d. And distance of a central bright, distance from the central bright spot, it will be n lambda d by a. And we know that lambda d by a is nothing but width. And that's why it is equal to n into width. This is about the dark point. We know that when we compare all these conditions, they are opposite to that of the interference. If the path difference is equal to integral multiple of wavelength, we get bright point in that interference. But here in this diffraction, it is the dark point. Okay. Here, conditions for the bright point for the diffraction pattern. If path difference is equal to n plus half wavelength, that means odd number, then we get bright point. If a phase difference is equal to n plus half twice pi, then that time we get bright point. Angular position at that time will be n plus half lambda by d. And the distance from the center bright spot will be n plus half lambda d by a. Here lambda d by a is the width, and that's why the distance from the central bright spot will be n into width. These are the conditions for the diffraction pattern.